I'm a driver, and I'm a flyer. I waited a long time for a shot like this.
What do you think? Well, what do you know?
Thank you for joining us for another Movie Lingo discussion. I'm Eddie Lingo.
I'm Carlos.
I'm Ron.
And today we're going to be talking about Solo, a Star Wars story. Yes. The Solo film, as everybody knows, is the introduction to Han Solo's character, which is originally played by the legendary Harrison Ford. And now we have this introductory origin story, if you will, played by Alden Ehrenreich, I believe.
Aiden?
Alden Ehrenreich, whatever. It's fine. We mess up names all the time. But this is directed by Ron Howard, and this is Disney basically giving us something that half of the Star Wars fans didn't want, and another half of the Star Wars fans do want. Now, I want to start off by saying I thought I was a Star Wars fan. I say this with every Star Wars film that come out. I thought I was a Star Wars fan until I actually met a Star Wars fan. So I kind of stepped back from that role. So I have an appreciation for Star Wars, but I am by far nothing close to a Star Wars fan. You know, but I was so. With that being said, I was one of those people that was actually looking forward to this movie. Now, if you haven't seen it, we're going all out with the spoilers. We're going to talk about whatever Easter eggs we saw, cameos, characters that popped up. So if you haven't seen it, please stop this, go back, watch it, and come and let us know. Hear our discussion and let us know how you feel about it. And again, we're hitting you podcast style because we still don't have a camera, but there's a quick fix coming for that soon. All right, so Ron, why don't you let me know the Solo film? How'd you feel about it without getting too deep?
I really enjoyed the cast. I was a little cautious because of Woody's. He's I don't say he's in everything, but he's just done such a good job on his catalog that sometimes you see him, and it's kind of hard to shake off. Like it's almost like his roles kind of blend in with each other.
He's starting to be, you mean like more like typecasted now, or he's playing the same person?
Exactly. Like we just had the conversation about the Planet of the Apes series and stuff like that. So
that was good.
But with this one, it wasn't too bad. I did feel the same way where he's just this role. Whether it's a Western movie or whatever the case is, but I really enjoy the guy who played Han Solo. Great job. There was some facial reactions that he would make that I thought was spot on. Even with the writing, with him using words like "I know," but not using the exact same way as the older Hans. I enjoyed the pace of the movie. It was really cool to just jump in. Like, you didn't have to be a fan of any Star Wars stuff. It was plug and play. It was easy to watch.
Definitely.
So I enjoyed it.
Awesome. Carlos, how about you? How'd you feel about it?
I enjoyed it for what it was worth, and like, I'm excited. I liked Rogue One as much as I liked this one. It's like, it brought me, when I saw this movie, it brought me to the Western vibes, as you were saying, like cowboys and the robbery and stuff like that, heist movies. I liked it a lot, and the cast was amazing. The characters, I love them, even though, we've seen them in their future selves. And, it was good to see them young and, getting their introduction, how Chewbacca and Han Solo met. That was pretty cool. And, just overall, amazing movie. And I hope it doesn't stop from there. I hope it becomes a trilogy. And, yeah, hopefully we can discuss that.
Yeah, we will definitely get to that. I have to say that like I said, I was looking forward to this film. I did, of course, stay away from all trailers and things. And what I got, I enjoyed. I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would. And we're going to just go ahead and get into a few of the questions I got lined up, to discuss this. There's no... normally we'll go through what was wrong with the movie, on my part. But honestly, the couple of little writing situations that I noticed wasn't enough to stop me from enjoying the movie. So we're not going to even worry about that. I want to ask you guys, because this is a conversation I've been having with people since Carlos and I saw it last night. This conversation I've been having with people, and I'm getting different views. And I want you to really think about this before you answer. I know this is a Star Wars story, okay, but did it feel like a Star Wars movie? Just think about that. Think about the atmosphere, everything we've got.
I don't have to think about it.
All right, tell me your answer then.
It is like I have a list of a few things I was going to go through in my head, and like you hit it on the nail. The flow of this movie, and again, like you said before, I feel like we had to put that white flag, warning level. We are not Star Wars diehard people. I'm a casual. I only see it if it's in the movie. I've seen some Clone Wars series seasons, messed around with a few books and comic books, but I am not in any shape or form Star Wars ride or die. Okay,
right.
So I just want to. With that being said, this did not feel like prior legit Star Wars, and I don't mean not just the originals. I'm talking about even when you look at Rogue One and certain ones, they had even when I have like you do movies and screenwrite, like even the scene changes weren't the same.
No,
like
the wipes
the wipes come across and the music, and it's almost like a bad '80s editing type thing. Like this had slower flares. This didn't have the scribe or scrolling that went like in a galaxy far away. Let me give you a bunch of stuff.
Right.
It gave you one or two things, and then literally you're being, as he's jump starting the car, into the visualizations was just completely different.
Right.
Even the music wasn't the same. I think it was John Powell that did the music. It had reminiscences of some of the Star Wars vibe music,
they
but
sprinkled
everything was completely just different. Just the casting was different, the vibe was different. This movie went like a fast-paced Top Gun type of thing.
Right.
There wasn't a lot of dialogue that was on ground. It was like, this is if you're into something fast-paced. So I completely will say with no hesitation that this did not have a vibe like a Star Wars movie.
Carlos, what do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely what Ron is saying, and I'm not a diehard Star Wars fan. I just watch the movies. I see some of the the series, the Rogue One. The Clone Wars, and then Rebels. Mm-hmm. A really good show. I like it. Am I able to tell you what happened in the 15-minute of Revenge of the Sith? No, fuck no, I couldn't. But can't tell you that was a fucking awesome duel at the end.
Yeah, because you're trying to
a lot of people don't even like that movie, to be honest. Yeah. But it's just that scene at the end, man.
I think that makes the movie worth a watch altogether. But I don't want to get off track with that.
Yeah.
For me, I have to agree with you, Ron, 100%. It did not feel like a Star Wars movie, but I'm not mad at that. I actually like what I got. Like Carl said, it's a heist movie, and it felt good. Had a different pace to it, and it didn't need to be like Rogue One, even though it's one of these standalone movies that it was a standalone movie.
Right.
A Star Wars story. It still felt like it gave you like that classic feel.
Yeah.
It took you back, so you still felt like you was really engulfed. Now I'm not saying that this didn't feel like it was in the Star Wars universe. It just didn't give that same presentation.
No, it didn't. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which was fine. I was totally happy with that. With that being said, there's a lot of debate and a lot of talk about there being too much comedy or not enough comedy, and that Ron Howard, the director who came on late, would not be able to convey that comedy because they didn't want it to be too serious. What are your thoughts on that? Was it too much? Not enough? Did Ron Howard do a good job in conveying it? How did you feel about the level of comedy in this movie?
Carlos, go for it.
I would say what made me laugh was the droid, Londo, right? Lando? Lando?
L3.
I meant L3. Lando's droid.
Mm-hmm.
L3. Yeah.
With the hips.
With those hips.
The robotic hips.
Serious walk.
And I was saying in my head, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, is this a female droid? Because it's got a nice little walk here, and I don't know what I'm looking at. And then he said she. They made sure to say she a bunch of times.
That was a serious walk.
Okay.
Yeah. I was looking at Amelia Clark the whole time, but
of course.
Khaleesi is all the way. Mother of Dragons, Breaker of Chains.
Back on track. Topic.
Sorry.
How do you feel about the comedy?
L3 totally, made it funny. She had her moments, especially how at the beginning when we got introduced to her. she was looking at the droids that were in the cage, fighting it out like to the
She's
death,
sticking up for them.
and I'm like, oh my god, this is cruelty and stuff like that. And it's pretty funny because everyone thinks that they're just droids. Yeah, they're droids. So,
Yeah, she was the first ever, in my opinion, the first ever vegan.
Vegan.
I don't know why I didn't see that coming.
I don't know how you didn't see it.
I don't know why.
Do you know what? Like, there's a scene where they're doing this MMA, UFC fighting thing.
Right.
And it was like, no, you need to be free. They don't care about you. I was like, yeah, she's vegan. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it.
Oh, so Carlos, you thought it was
yeah.
good amount of comedy? I mean, it was fair.
It was fair. It wasn't like over the top, like it's only comedy.
Right.
Yeah. No, it had its moments. With L3, it had comedy.
Yeah.
When it came to her, it was comedy. And she had like that little fling, like, oh, you think Lando likes me? Like, oh, I think he likes me and stuff. Like, it made it feel like she had a mind of her own and she was unique.
She seemed more human than
sure.
others in the movie for sure. But the way Lando reacted when we lost her, it almost confirmed what she was saying.
Yeah, actually, the director does go back and say that Lando's character, because I guess he knew it was going to be some conversation about it.
Yeah,
he's I'm sorry if I'm saying it the wrong way to the community, but he's pansexual. Meaning that he is down to whatever as long as it physically or mentally can satisfy. Mm-hmm. And so when she makes a comment in the thing, she says something like, "Hey Lando, I'm gonna need you to fix that switch like you did before the last time." And he kind of looks like he doesn't want to do it, but he does, like whatever. And even later on, he said, "Hey, listen, I think Lando feels for me, but that's not gonna work." And then Khaleesi's basically saying like, "How about that work?" Like, it works. It works. As if they've already crossed that line. Yeah, exactly. So Lando,
I heard that line. I was like, "Yo, Eddie,
Lando,
that robot smash."
Yeah, and it had people
the scissors.
In the theater. Yeah, it's scissors. That he had a lot of people in the audience thinking like, "Okay, how do they get down?" I was like, WD-40, like what is that?
Lube, man.
No,
lube
silicone?
is lube.
That's silicone for real.
Motor
position called the Silicone Valley. Motorboating for real. Silicon Valley. To answer your question about the comedic, I want it
more.
I don't want to say I want it more. I feel like I want it more between him and Lando. And I think the reason why I wanted it was only because that role was so hyped up. Because I enjoyed him as a kid, watching him and the whole action figure and his character, and I guess maybe it was just my hype of you're selling me so much on the Lando thing, but in the bigger scheme of the storyline, he's not that significant for you to keep putting him in. So I think Lando's character was fine, but I guess I just wanted a little bit more. But realistically, his conversation with Chewie and certain verbiages that he used, like I said, the I know and certain things where he says this is going to be a great idea, when later he's going to change that catchphrase to this is going to be a bad idea. I have a bad feeling about this.
Right.
Yeah. I was gonna say
so I thought it was a good blend.
It was a good blend. I'm glad you brought up Lando and that chemistry, because that's where I was headed next. Okay. I just chiming on the first question, I could have used a little bit more comedy. I liked the L3 comedy. I thought where the movie was weak was the chemistry. The chemistry was there, but the comedic level between Han and Chewie wasn't good enough for me. But that's just me. I would have just put a lot more interactions, a lot more. Not trying to bite because Chewie was the first creature that just kind of makes the same noise and everybody knows what he's saying, but basically more of an I Am Groot type of situation.
I was right there with you.
Okay,
and they do and they've been doing it for years, where Chewie and certain characters who don't physically say things, like even RD2 and everyone like that, BB-8 is like, what they're saying.
R2D2,
whatever.
Oh,
I gave
man.
the one
R2D2.
What the hell? I just let it go.
As soon as I put it out, I realized I couldn't go back.
Yeah, I was
like I said before, white flag. It is what it is. When the Samson, or you can call it whatever you want, but I just felt like in this, I don't know if I should be upset about it though. Like it doesn't rub you the wrong way about it.
Okay, that I always just let that roll off the back. I know where you go with that, and I always just let that I always just let that roll. That's
Now, okay, let's bring this up because I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. Please enlighten me because you guys are looking at each other like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know what you're saying.
okay, but the reason
I don't know what you're
we're
saying.
looking at each other like
Please
that
let
is
me know.
because it relates to us more than it would you.
Me so confused.
You know, like the Jar Jar Binks type situation.
Oh, okay.
Because that's how I always looked at it growing up. I always looked at it as Chewie was black. Like
Right.
the whole civilization was black or Spanish, like dark-skinned people. Because their storyline was they were slaves and they were being sold back and forth. And all he's trying to do is get to his family.
Right.
And that's it. And so when you said the chemistry, it was perfect because it felt like as soon as you were starting to like someone, they were gone for whatever reason. Like Woody Harrelson's character with the girl with the afro.
Right.
She's gone.
Which they did.
Which you said was so stupid.
She was gone early on, and I'm like...
She went fast. They got rid of that crew fast, but that was played by Thandie Newton.
Okay.
Val was the character's name.
Okay, and she's played in some good stuff. I can't remember what the hell it is, but even when Chewie needed help to help his people that he saw, I just felt like the connection, what I expected between Chewie and Solo, should have been better. Why the fuck did it take him so long to be like, you need to go help my people? It wasn't like he was going a separate way. I mean, he's aisle 7 of the Publix grocery store.
Pretty much right there.
He was right there. And then, so the best thing that they can do to kind of make it like, oh, they're friends is, take this. You're going to need this, buddy. No, you're telling me you couldn't go fight those people for him real quick? Because here's the thing.
That was one of the writing issues I had, but since you're going there, go ahead.
Because it aggravated me.
I'm going to speak on that too then.
Because, like, you could have done that so much better. He shouldn't have hesitated because they've already been through stuff. And you would assume because them understanding the language, and they already said from the jump, like, no, not really many people speak his language. And so that banner back and forth that you're trying to build fizzled at times where it wasn't like there's certain people that you'll put together like Chris Rock and Jackie Chan, like you can see them go back and forth. You don't expect that, but it happens and it gets better over the progressing of the movie. Right. For this, it's like you had to beg to go help my people over here. Then what does Chewie do? Like a G, he comes back with reinforcements. He doesn't have to. Right. Yeah. He comes without Chewie coming back for those people. They wouldn't have been able to get that shit on the.
True. Yeah, they loaded it up. And they did, but what makes it even worse, I'm sorry about the writing issue that I saw there was that when Han was in trouble going to save Lando and L3, Chewie didn't hesitate. There wasn't no debate. It wasn't thinking about it.
You were right.
You know, he saw it. He ran and he picked up Lando and L3 and they went and got on the ship. So like at least we know Chewie gets it and has that they have that he has that understanding of their bond. Yeah. But that moment earlier, Han should have been like, he said don't do anything different or improvise or whatever. But you know what? Screw it. These are people. Let's do this and then find a way to get back on track and hurry up, whatever. Right. But that was one of the writing issues I had. I'm glad you brought it. I didn't want to be because every time I talk about a movie, I'm always like, yeah, well, if I would have wrote it, and so I was trying to stay away from it.
That did aggravate me.
Okay, so
I wanted them that. I think, like I said, that's probably why I felt the comedic. Maybe not that, but the vibe of those two being friends. I wanted to see them as the best friends, right? And understand how because the flow of them in the cockpits and later movies is it's a flow, it's a chemistry. And I get that comes over years and millions of years, whatever you want to call it, light years, but I expected it to be faster than this because Disney is not going to give us, we're not going to get a Chewie
12
story.
Movies, yeah.
We're not going to get a Chewie story
right.
next. So it's like...
Right. Okay, good enough. What you want to add to Carlos?
Honestly, like, if they were just... when Han was trying to carry all that shit at the beginning, right? And there was these guards that were about to attack him. Guess what? Who appeared? Fucking Chewie. Yeah. And
he's like, he brought the reinforcements.
Yeah, he brought the reinforcements with those people that you didn't fucking want to help. But guess what? They're fucking helping you, bro. They're helping you, man.
It's rough, man. It's hard out here for a Chewie.
It would have been nice if he's like, as you were saying, just like, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna just help you. They're right there, super close. It would just help you, help those guards. Kill those guards and help your people and just go.
It's hard out here for a Wookiee, man.
Yeah, especially when Han's character is infamous for not following directions.
And I thought when he said, "Hey, no improvisation," I was
that
like,
was
okay.
foreshadowing for a big fuck up.
Yes, and I'm like, nope,
it's not possible.
He's really gonna follow
Right,
straight.
so that was a little inconsistency of the character, in my opinion, on that one.
You said Val. Me and Eddie were talking about that at the movie. He actually was pointing it out that that little heist thing with the train was pretty cool. I like that scene.
That was cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's the tilted.
Yeah, and they all started tilting, and they're all shooting. Mm-hmm. Val, set up all these fucking bombs, and then what Eddie said, what a fucking waste of a character, because guess what? At the end, they didn't even get the fucking crystal.
She died for no reason.
She died for no reason. She died. They didn't even get the crystals.
He didn't even when he hit Han. I thought that's what he was going to be mad about, but he was mad because now he's got to address.
No, that's given.
Vision.
but here's Vision who turns white again at the end of the movie. You notice that?
I did notice
it's
that.
The second time he's gone pale.
But she, I like that. But she died for no reason, and I know that they had to kill these characters off because they don't have a place in the future. But I just felt like they did it too easy. And I was a little disappointed in that, especially her. She was a badass.
I thought the way that with her acting range, I thought you could have kept her for more. Like I get, like you said, you have to kill them all, but to be on that bridge and be like, she's like, well, I don't want to keep these. Exactly, I don't want to keep these rookies. I don't want to keep these rookies. And you're telling me you'd have a backup plan for getting stuck up here and this and this, like dropping down,
jump off,
this and this,
parachute, or
something.
Hope that they fly and catch you. See why he's the best pilot in the world.
You got nothing. Then the dude with the multiple arms, his personality was good and witty and everything like that. And then he gets killed off. Okay, fine, I get it.
He was the pilot. He was the cook and pilot. So,
I get.
They had to shoot that fucker up.
I get that you're trying to kill off characters to keep it linear for your storyline.
Right.
But I'm like, it just, to me, it messed up the flow. Like, it took me back a little bit, a few steps, and I had to regret.
I didn't even feel bad for her death. They didn't give us enough time for her to really grow on.
Yeah.
Because right now she was... You see, she had a relationship with Woody's character Beckett,
but she didn't like Hans.
But so she wasn't team Solo yet. So I wasn't really feeling her, and I was waiting on that moment to come where right when we are feeling her, she's gone. But they gave up real quick. They gave
so we're gonna put you in this movie. It's gonna have a lot of special effects, and then you're gonna be dead in 30 minutes in. You're cool with that? All right.
She died for no reason, which sucked because they still lost that shipment.
They still lost, which I understand. I get they lost a shipment, and I like that aspect of it because it was real.
Yeah.
He made a decision. Like, hey, listen, I'm gonna cut this gut intuition. Fine,
to save us. Yeah,
and that's fine. But
her death on that note to make certain that it happened is what that. Yeah.
He's like, I'm not gonna make it, so I'm gonna blow myself out.
Yeah, that's it. It was great. It was real. Like y'all was a couple. It's not like you're just saying bye to some people that you was carpooling with.
Yes.
And she was just like, yeah, you know what? Okay, well, it's got to get done. It was real. Thanks. Boom.
But I'm saying, but
he was upset a little bit. He saw like people were saying, "Oh, I heard of what happened on the job. I'm sorry about Val." Like, it's okay.
Yeah. I felt like they found out every time. They found out shit before we found out almost. Like the speed of it. Like, they literally are coming up like, man, I heard about your girl, man. Yeah. Then they come back for the next mission, man. I heard about that sprocket part that fell off. That was a good ship.
I'm telling you, man. Real quick though, side note on Paul Bettany. Dryden Voss was the character. The
Vision.
villain. Yeah, Vision.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Did you also notice, even though he turned white when he died, did you notice whenever he had high emotions?
Yes, his eyes turned red.
And the scars turned a little darker.
Yes,
I thought that was
badass.
That scars looks just like Maul's. Did you notice that?
It does, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he answers to him what you didn't really spoil it because we're going to get there anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, I mean, it's like, and that's who he answers to, so that was actually, that was pretty awesome.
His mini lightsabers.
So let's get to that.
They had I can't believe
that was cool though. Like, since there were no Jedi in it, that would have pissed me off if a lightsaber would have actually.
There was actually a couple in there.
What?
Lightsabers.
You saw the in his office when you look on the circular table. There's I forgot what the heck it's called. It's a thing from Indiana Jones for the Return of the Ark. He has that in there.
The Crystal Skull.
Not the crystal skull. It's the gold idol thingy.
Okay.
I didn't even notice that. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Look at those.
There is-
And then the guy that's in the MMA boxing fight who's saying, "Oh, get out of here with the wiry hair."
Yeah.
That's Ron Howard's brother. So I'm like, they just fitting.
That's awesome.
In that room, there was a Mandalorian armor, which was red, which would represent like when Darth Maul actually took over Death Watch, which is Mandalorians like Boba Fett and Jango Fett. Those were Mandalorians. Those were like warriors. He actually controlled them in a brief time period, and they would change their uniform from blue to red, just like how Maul would look.
Yeah.
With spikes and shit. It looked fucking awesome. That was in the background. I don't know if you noticed it.
I missed all of that.
I don't know if
man.
you noticed that one.
Like I told you, man,
But,
the Easter eggs aren't obvious to me, so I'm just watching whatever's right in front of me. I'm not even seeing that stuff because I'm not that big of a Star Wars fan.
I think in the other side there was the holocron, but the dark side one, it looked like it. I don't know if it was actually real, but hey, I don't know. I'm telling you, I'm not a fucking fan. I'm just saying, like, hey, it looked like it to me.
If it was real, though,
If it was real, I don't know.
Okay,
Whatever.
I mean, let's just assume it was.
Okay, let's assume it was. All right.
I don't think they would just have fake collectibles movie in this universe. Everything in that universe is gonna be technically real beyond the screen once you cross that.
Yeah, and like with the hologram, they had these little sticks that looked like life savers to me. But
okay.
Hey.
Well, what I meant was there was not anybody actually like wielding one or doing anything with them because there was no actual Jedi involved in the story.
I didn't see
or
one
Sith
until Maul
Lords.
at the end.
Right,
Yeah.
and I mean he turned it on, I guess, to excite all the fanboys,
Which he shouldn't be a part of the dark side anymore.
you know, but it's fine. But I did like the blades that Voss had.
Yeah.
I did. I liked that it had that same, you know. It was like it had the same type of effect as a lightsaber, but it was just on the form of those blades. I thought that was pretty cool.
I felt like it connected with his character. A lot of times in movies you hear, you kill someone with a knife, it's more personal.
Yeah.
The Joker said in
Oh,
Dark
yeah.
Knight.
Yeah.
And
That was
so
a good
I just
fucking
felt
line.
like it was a good fit to have him have that item. When you look at movies like Black Panther and you watch Killmonger, I mentioned every review now.
Yeah, I see that.
Got it on DVD and Blu-ray. You watch Eric kind of break the staff and the meaning of him being a rebellious of tradition. And so I like it when a weapon or something that's kind of like a co-star to the physical actor. So I thought I enjoyed that.
Speaking of a weapon that's like a co-star to the physical actor, Envy's Nest, played by Aaron Kellyman.
Yes. 19 years old.
Great character. Great.
19 years old. She's in Les Mis right now on the BBC.
Okay, all right.
Get it.
That character was not. I wasn't expecting what I got.
I didn't.
So that was the next point I wanted to get onto. Is like there are moments of the story where you think you know everything that's coming. You think it's very predictable, and there are two characters, in my opinion, that strayed from what I thought was predictable, and they end up surprising me. And that was that character.
I give you that. Uh-huh.
Okay, and then
Loved her.
And then Qi'ra, played by Emilia Clarke. Her, I thought she was going to die because we know that Han does not end up with her.
We
right?
already know Buns
sure?
and Stills.
Are you sure?
Buns, everybody knows.
Right? We
Spoiler
know.
alert, Solo doesn't grow old and die.
Oh, he doesn't?
Life is short for him.
I mean, he does grow old.
I don't know about gray hair old.
Oh, I mean, Harrison Ford doesn't.
true.
But
Happy Father's Day.
the thing is, like, we know she's not in the universe that we grew up on, or in the current universe now. So I thought she was gonna die trying to save him, and then
Eddie would bump into me like, yo,
she's gonna die.
Yo,
She's gonna die.
Listen,
She's
that's
gonna die.
why I
She's
really
gonna die.
like this movie, because even if you're a diehard Star Wars fan, I mean, put the comments in there and tell us how you feel, but it's like, you really didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen. Like,
Right.
there was a few scenes, like you said before, where you're like, she's gotta go. Like, if you know the lineage and how it goes, like, she's gotta go.
Right.
The scene where he's at the elevator and he's like, I'll be right behind you. I was waiting for dude to stick her
to
one
get back
last
up,
time.
stick her one
Yeah.
last time.
Yeah,
She
that's
just
what I
died.
Like,
thought
right
too.
before the elevator closed, where he can't even get, and like nothing. I'm
Nothing.
like,
Yeah. I was really looking like, what's happening? And then you could sense that either she was going to die, or then at that point you could sense she was probably going to do something to turn on him. But I still didn't understand the motivation. And then when we got to the biggest part of this movie, even though it's a solo film, was that she was answering to Darth Maul. Her story arc, it just blew my mind. And then also the character that we were just talking about, the Envy's Nest. I thought that was a villain, and it actually is somebody that's a part of the origin of the rebellion, and that is a hero to the universe. And I was like, man, those two story arcs, phenomenal, and it just elevated my appreciation for the movie.
I really enjoyed it. Not only that, like I said before, they did such a good job, and I don't know if it's the whole Marvel family, they swallowed up Disney and everything, there's a lot of stuff they tied from the other movies, like when they went to the mine spot and Lando leaves. When you see Lando again in the series and he's running for office, he's basically saying he hates the mines. Now you know why he hates the mines, because the situation he's in. And it's ironic because he's running from the same district that is famous for having mines. And then his relationship with Hans, the argument over who owns the Falcon. And now you see what that is. So I like the same way you said those two story arcs, which Aaron to me stole it. Like I'm trying not to be. I'm not gonna do it that way. You remember The Last Jedi? The girl who I said took the role from the last one. She was she was the one that was like she was gonna run into the ship and
the one that was a level fence.
Yes,
the aviation.
She's
girl.
the one that you did it. I was gonna do that.
I was gonna say maintenance girl.
Maintenance girl. That's what I'll call her. Certain characters come out and steal the show, and I felt like those are two that stole it because, like you said before, the story arc completely changed on a character who didn't even exist, who can be young and keep doing stuff, to another character who we thought was gonna die. And now you're connected to something bigger, because when she picked up the ring, I was like, okay, what's she going to do with that? And she looked scared and hesitant. But it was almost like she was scared to move to that next chapter in her life. Not that she was scared of what happens. Is like, I'm moving on. Maybe the same way that Woody Harrelson character is, you play the game. And she was waiting for this moment. And she played all these people to get to this moment.
Yeah.
Definitely. So now I got to ask my final question before we... move on to rate this movie.
Does Lando get his own movie?
Well, I was never gonna ask that.
Okay,
they don't do us like that. I mean,
well, I don't.
No, I heard they were gonna.
I don't think it was enough for him for that.
I heard they were gonna make. I heard they were gonna make.
He was smooth at first, and I felt like there was moments he was smooth. The capes were smooth.
Yeah. I like this character though, all the way.
Yeah.
I like the shadiness. I liked the confidence.
Just like me.
Him flirting at the table, one leg up type of thing.
Yeah, I loved it. He was definitely smooth, and I wish I could have got more, but there's not gonna be a Lando.
I hope there is. There's gotta be. Yeah.
So the question I have, now that we obviously this is not a standalone movie. They've set it up now where Amelia Clark's character is answering Darth Maul. There's still a story to tell. How do you feel now that this leaves an opportunity for a potential trilogy for the Solo prequels or origin story? How does that make you feel? Do you know this is a bad idea, or are you looking forward to it? Who wants to hit that first?
You can go with it.
All right. Well, for me, I would prefer to have a Darth Maul thing, like a movie, separate, because you're just gonna keep tagging along with Han Solo, and then with this Qi'ra, and then Darth Maul. Darth Maul is a fucking Sith.
Right.
Versus Han Solo. Come on.
Well, I mean, no one's saying that they would necessarily go against each other, but he would be obviously heavily involved in that universe of that movie.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. This is what I would do. I wouldn't even think of it as that way. I believe, like I said, they've been watching Marvel for so long. You can do a second and third without connecting it to Solo. You could literally have a mention, a quick cameo, something you've already pre-recorded, whatever the case is, and connect it. Because I was thinking...
Without connecting it to Solo or Darth Maul?
Without attaching so much solely on Solo, making it Solo 2. Now, let's say you do another one, and another one's called Obi-Wan. Whatever, Obi-Wan story. Okay. It could be Obi-Wan, and the villain of Obi-Wan is Darth Maul.
Okay, but that's not my question. My question is a Solo 2 and a Solo 3.
I don't see
them
squeeze. I just didn't see. I don't.
What him and Amelia Clark still have. They could cross paths. He's going to Tatooine to get with this gangster and run away.
Jabba the Hutt.
I know. Okay. But so him and Amelia Clark's character Qi'ra, whatever his name is, could still cross paths and there could still be stories, even though she answered to Darth Maul. I think you guys are focusing too much on the Darth Maul aspect.
I'm going off of the fact I'm trying to trust what Disney or Star Wars, whoever owns the entity, is saying that these movies are standalone, but we're watching the proof that this does not look standalone.
Yeah, well,
it's like, hey, listen, I'm making dinner for you. Is that all right? Cool. That's all I got is dinner. That's it. And then here goes dinner, and you're like, man, dinner's delicious. And then Disney slides this plate, and it's an ice cream cone with no ice cream, and you're like, well, what's this all about? Oh, no, that's nothing. I said only dinner I'm giving you.
Right.
What is this? And so I'm trying not to jump in with we can do number 2, number 3, number 4.
But you know that they always wanted to. They just didn't want us rolling our eyes thinking they're just trying to milk another trilogy or another character.
Maybe after the last movie of Star Wars 9, Episode 9. Maybe after that. But right now, for me, it has to be another film for Darth Maul.
No, I'm not talking about it coming out tomorrow. I feel like you guys are missing the whole point of the question.
I'm not saying tomorrow, and I think get what you're saying. I'm just saying I am perfectly fine with them finding another way to continue the story they started. They left some stuff, especially the ending. I'm not trying to be fixated on the Darth Maul thing, but even if that part never came up, like you said, there is still something there. The look of him watching her kind of drive by and leave, Lando taking off deuces and he's gone. There are storylines and timelines. I still want to know what's happening.
But you don't want a Solo 2 though. Like you were saying what I'm saying, but you said no, you don't want a Solo 2.
I don't
when
want
there's
them to mess it
stuff
up.
there with him,
yes,
her, Lando, they can still.
Yes, but I don't want them to mess it up. I feel like, what if you watch this and you go back and watch your Star Wars and you have an opportunity to the conversation with a friend or a fan of what happened in between the gaps? Because before, again, not a super big fan. Before, you were like, man, this, and this. Now you have, one of the things they fixed because of this movie was Han Solo's philosophy, which is shoot first. He's a con artist. He's a smuggler. He's going to get you first. And when they did the remaster of one of the movies, they altered something where Han's wounded somebody, didn't kill somebody, whatever the case is. And in this one, they made sure, they worked really hard to make sure that when Han Solo had that scene where Woody Harrelson's character is talking something about I'm going to teach you one last lesson. Han shot first. And that's really big on the universe there because a lot of people were really pissed off at how that character was designed, that he wasn't a shoot first person, and that's who he is. He's a shoot first, ask questions later. So I felt like they were doing things to fix some stuff, but I necessarily didn't see anything that I wanted. I liked the mystery of what was happening next. I think you can answer some questions in another movie that is completely on its own.
I disagree. I hope that they give us a Solo 2. I hope they play on the character that Amelia Clark played. I hope we get more Han, Chewie, and Lando. I hope they find a way to bring L3 back.
She is back. She never leaves.
I mean, she's in the.
She's in the Falcon.
Yeah, but I want that strut and that swag.
You wouldn't be able to because there's scenes where Solo is saying during some firefights, "Hey, baby, hold up on me. Don't break up on me now." And and people wonder why he called her a she. Now it makes sense because she's in the computer. So I don't necessarily think you bring her back, but that's why I like.
What? You're right, because you're still thinking about the current.
So you bring her. Okay, you take her out of the computer. Yeah. Bring her back.
And then kill her again.
Lando's gonna want his chick back.
I'm saying he's still in the story. There's ways to just to throw this in another adventure.
But if you go with the movie, Lando, when he sees him, he's like, "Fuck this dude." We have a history. I mean, we're kind of cool, but we had some shit at the mines,
right?
And the car. Who's the owner of the real car?
Right.
And that was the whole mystery behind it. I like how they answered that, and I'm like, I don't want to fuck it up.
Okay.
I feel like.
Well, that's your opinion on that. That's good. So.
I don't want to fuck it up.
I actually hope they find some way, that they give us another Solo. I'm interested in knowing what happens with Emilia Clarke's character. I want more Lando, so I'm good with that. Anything else you guys want to add before we rate it?
I agree. I would like to see more of all those characters. I just would be very interested if they could sprinkle that on and still pass the torch for other characters that we've had interest in.
They're just going to make their own movies.
I just, do you really want to sit there and I got a Lando movie, I got an Obi-Wan movie.
That's what they announced, yeah.
But not the Lando one, the Obi-Wan.
Oh, not Lando. I'm saying, but Han and
I got a
Obi-Wan.
Padawan movie.
I don't want a Lando movie. He's already in a movie. I feel like you guys are not listening to me at all. I am not. You know what?
Lando,
I did not say anything about wanting any of these characters to have their own movie. They're already involved in the story. And so if they bring out another movie with Obi-Wan, that's fine. If they bring out another movie with Boba Fett,
it
that's
doesn't
fine.
matter because Solo has their main characters
because
and you want to see what's going on
exactly.
in their life.
I want another Solo movie with those characters. So it doesn't seem like now and then I'm asking for now a L3 movie, a Lando movie, a Chewie movie.
I didn't
But that's how you said it. Because I never said anything like that.
I was with the Lando one because I was curious. Again, how do you change your role where you're a politician and you're still smooth?
Look how young he is. They got so much time to get there, and they can still do some. You know what?
I'm just trying to trust what Disney said.
Okay, yeah,
it's a standalone movie.
I don't even know why I'm having this conversation with you guys because you're not writers. You're not creative. Sorry,
I don't. I say it all the time.
So you don't have the imagination. You don't have the imagination to see it, but it can be done. I mean, so I'm just gonna leave it at that.
But so they call you. You start working on some stuff. How long before we get another Solo 2?
Well, that I can't determine. I mean, just production and everything.
No, but where would you place it? Like Carlos said earlier, hey, look, we'll wait for the 9th one to finish out. Like, what would you place it in? Would
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter?
No, it doesn't matter if it's 5 years from now, 2 years from now, because it's not messing up the timeline. It's a prequel.
I know, but then
so what does it matter?
It won't have a relevant. No, can't say it right.
I think I know what you're going to say, but that doesn't make any sense.
Never mind.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, because I think what you were going to say
it's in a whole different time period, so it doesn't matter if it comes out right after the episode 9 or if there's another movie in between. I don't care. You guys are really focusing on the wrong shit.
Like I said, it could be.
I do not care about that.
Listen, but like I said, I get it because you're on a different side of the creativity. And again, I'm just a moviegoer. So to me, it's like I'm trying to think, when has Disney done a Star Wars movie where they've given us the same characters? So could they do it? Yes. But they've got me so programmed. When they tell me this is a standalone, I'm like, okay, standalone. So I'm not thinking of bringing on another character. I'm like, okay, it's a standalone. Okay, you got the Darth Maul thing at the end.
Think of if they told you it was going to be, they already announced, it's going to be a Han Solo trilogy. Everybody would immediately be like, oh, and because they were already giving it, the shit. So that's why they're not trying to tell you, yes, we're milking this. Just like they already knew that they were going to do 2 or 3 Black Panthers if it did well, but they waited till it made its money to tell you. But they already knew that it's already on the blackboard. Come on, it's Hollywood. That's what they do. They don't ever sit there and expect to just make one. If the money is there, they're going to go for it.
Okay, so then we go to that one. Okay, so Airbuds. Okay,
pretty much. Yeah, they're like Airport 23.
That makes sense.
So it's
they go to fucking space.
It doesn't matter what they told you. You know that they were already. It's already in the mix or a plan. If they get what they need, it's a go. So I'm good with that. I mean, as long as it's done right.
I'll like it. I'll be right there watching it. I kind of like. I don't want to touch it.
So I feel like I'm talking to Iris tonight, man. What the hell?
It's the caption.
Okay. Shit, we're throwing shade like that.
I don't want to touch it.
Gosh, that was all right. Let's rate this thing.
I'm gonna give this one. Who's gonna go first?
I already have my number.
What's your number?
All right, I'm gonna rate this movie. It's gonna be 8 out of 10 for me.
All right, tell us why.
8 out of 10.
Yeah, 8 out of 10. Why?
Yeah.
Just because, you know what?
Like, you don't know if there's gonna be a number 2.
Yeah, that's why it went down 2 fucking points.
See, Eddie made him drop it because now he has no closure. He has no closure.
Oh my god.
I love it all around. I don't want to
love it, but you gave it an 8.
Yeah, I gave it an 8 because I want to. Is there a trilogy? I don't know. Is there going to be a L3 movie? Is there going to be an L3 movie?
Wait.
I don't fucking know. I hope so.
Okay, wait. Okay, let's stop. First of all, there's no reason to have L3 with their own movie, okay? Because I wasn't on that ship that every character needed his own movie. Don't tag me with that shit. That was all Carlos. But wait. We got to get back to this. So you gave it an 8.
Yeah. You're
unprepared of how you gave it an 8. And you gave it an 8 but only for the fact that because they confused you on whether or not they're going to keep putting out movies.
No.
Don't say no because we go back and listen.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Let me add on to my mistakes. You know what I'm saying?
Why are you giving it an 8?
Forgive me, Father. I have sinned.
Why are you giving it an 8?
I love the movie. I love everything about it. Why not give it a 10? Because I don't know. Why give?
I feel like if you take what you're saying and how you say it, it's no different than a dude talking to a girl. I'm like, why don't you put a ring on my finger? Listen. You everything I want. Listen, just
the perfect woman.
You're the perfect woman.
It's
just not there.
I don't know.
It just doesn't fit.
I don't know. We're gonna be together for 1 year, 2 years. So
sounds too complicated. We'll just stick to fucking, you know.
All right. So now,
8. I'm giving it an 8. I don't give a fuck.
8?
Just 8.
8 is your number.
He does,
but he doesn't really know why. That's cool.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
All right.
Why do I wake up every fucking morning with a with a dog on me? I don't know.
I don't think the listeners understand that joke.
Some bestiality. You say pansexual. You say nothing like that, man. You didn't say nothing like that, man.
That's too funny.
Peter, give him a call. Send him an email, please.
All right. So, would you like me to go around? Or
Go for it.
Okay. All right. So, for me, I enjoyed this movie. Thought it was fun. I liked that it was a heist movie. I liked that it didn't necessarily feel like a Star Wars movie, but yet it still was. I did have the writing issues with, as far as that chemistry with Han and Chewie, and I'm not helping him help his people right away. That bothered me. And then also the what was the other? Danny Newton's character, dying for no reason. Val, giving up so quickly. I was a little bit bothered by that. But like I said, it wasn't enough to ruin a movie for me. I still enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I would have liked more chemistry, and with Chewie and Han, as far as really establishing a relationship, but it was still good enough. Just enough comedy. I think Ron Howard did a good job. But I am also giving it an 8. And my reason being...
No, wait, don't do that. The 8 had nothing to do... The 8 is fine, man. There is nothing wrong with the 8. You had no reason.
We just wanted a reason for it.
No reason. He's got many reasons.
I'm just gonna copy whatever the fuck Eddie just said.
All right, so this is what I'm gonna say then.
So this is what Eddie and Carlos have to say.
Eddie and Carlos. My ultimate reason, well, I mean, the writing issues on me stopped it from being a perfect 10. Mm-hmm. Okay, but the actual story arc with Amelia Clark's character and the Darth Maul reveal, propelled it. Like I said, it wowed me, but the movie was cool and there was no disappointments, but it didn't really move me. I'm not looking to be a mostly movie. I don't need backstory or Hallmark moments, But what I'm just saying is just it was just cool, and I think that's what Carlos was having a hard time saying. It wasn't anything that just made him say, "Holy fucking shit, let's buy it and watch it immediately again." Mm-hmm. And I think that's why he gave it an 8. Because for me, everything I got, I enjoyed. Everything was cool, and I was like, "Yeah, that was actually, I like that more than I thought." And then I really liked the Darth Maul and that potential story arc, and I was like, "Wow, I really like that. I like that a hell of a lot more than I thought." But it didn't make me be like, "Oh, you gotta see this," or text the group "Hey, watch this movie," mm-hmm. or be like, "Hey, I'm gonna watch it again, round 2." It was just I saw it, I enjoyed it, so I'm gonna leave it at an 8.
I agree everything that you're saying.
So ditto.
But
The heist situation. We didn't talk about it much because no one else felt like it was a big thing. I feel like Ocean's 13 fucked this up for them. Because if you watch Ocean 13, it's, to me, again, I don't watch a lot of movies, but Ocean 13 has, like, if there's a bank robbery or anything, it's the whole I got you at the end, I'm already thinking some shit.
Okay.
So there was times in the movie where I literally said, I'm like, this is going to happen. And it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the switcheroo happened at the end, spoiler alert, I was like, I already said it was going to happen. I was like, they're going to switch. There's something, he didn't trust this dude, da-da-da-da-da.
right.
And I read somewhere online, and I got to go see the fucking movie now, 1995, you already know the movie, The Heat.
Yeah.
They're saying that it was a character, Long John Silver, whatever, something, the relationship between Hans and Woody's character. And so they were saying if you go watch that movie, it's like you learn something and it changes your life forever type of thing.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was like, it was so close to being as magical as like Rogue One or The Force Awakens, where you kind of have those moments where you're giddy in your seat. There was no significant moments. Every time it was something that was awesome, like them going through the storm and the monster. Then it got delayed with something that was really bad in the flow of the story, like the ship turning off and almost going to the back, but then having enough boost to come out of that hole. It was like there were just certain little elements where I was like, you're on the path, but it's just not there.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I like the movie. It's not something I'm gonna buy on DVD. I'm not gonna go run and tell the people. So I would give it an 8.
So it is no need to use the calculator.
Nope.
It is an 8 overall.
Yeah, I like to think we gave enough reasons for Carlos's movie of why it's an 8. Like again, I don't hate on anybody's rating exactly. I have my moments, but it's just that you had nothing for me. And I felt like they needed to know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think I got it out there for you. It was cool, but that was about it, right? Yeah. I mean, cool. it was no Rogue One. That's still my favorite right now out of all these newer movies that are coming out.
Yeah, so I enjoyed it. The very intense Uno game that I need to pick up myself. That I enjoyed the movie, just not enough to be like. There was nobody in the theater when I went to watch it.
Yeah, I thought that was strange. But maybe everybody will go between Sunday and Monday. We'll see if it makes the projected 170.
It's Star Wars. It's
going to make its money, but they're looking for a certain amount open weekend because of the expected drop offs going forward. It's not every movie can maintain the same consistency 2 weeks in a row like Black Panther did.
Question.
I thought she was going to throw it out there before I did.
No, I had said Black Panther already, and Avengers is doing this thing worldwide, and it's going to set some records as well. But
yes, sir.
My question was, all these superhero movies that are making this crazy amount of money, Deadpool, like all these movies, like, what's your take on that? Like,
when you say what's my take, what do you mean? Like about the money itself?
The money, like. You could put out a movie called blah, 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 and it's going to make, like, it could make, like, I don't know where he's going with this. It could be, like, $2 million you make off of it. But then the other thing is, like, other movies are coming out and doing nothing. And a superhero movie comes out, and it seems like everybody's only going to the movies.
Right.
So that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
I actually think it makes sense because they're getting it right now.
Uh-huh.
Like those superhero movies used to pop up in the 80s and the 90s would fail so hard because they were so dramatically off from what people's imagination and comic books and cartoons were able to give them. They couldn't portray that on film. And I think now because the way technology is and the way the writing is and then the actors that are getting involved, the production value is it's giving you they're so close to what we know and love, even if the story changes, that I think you're now getting more people. Because if you think about, if you look at the numbers in comic book sales, video game sales in these genres, it makes sense that those same people are spending the movie. And then every time I'm on Instagram, I'm seeing second time around, then they're taking pictures of the ticket, third time around. You know what I'm saying? Because they're fans like that. So it makes sense to me now because they're getting it right. If the movies were horrible and they were making this money, that would throw me off.
What about movies like Two Billboards and other stuff that's nominated for Oscars? Mm-hmm. I don't see it doing the same movies. Same money. But then you have some of the same demographics going to watch these movies. And to me, I don't understand the business, but it just doesn't make sense how Deadpool can go do this as a rated R movie.
Right.
I get it. You're a superhero and all this other stuff. But then you have another rated R movie that's equally just as good casting and budget wise, and it might not do anything.
Let me say this, and then we got to bring it to a close because we only got a couple minutes left on this thing.
This will be its own short little.
Those Oscar movies, those movies actually never really turned out money like that before. They're still making their same money. It's just they're being drowned out by how much these comic book movies are making out. But back in the days, they would still only make their 100, 200 million at most. You know, it'd be a $30 million movie, $45 million, $7 million, when they make 170, and it would quietly go get its Oscar. And so they're not actually losing that traffic. They're still making their same money from their same fan base. It's just the comic book movies are just doing that much more. So I don't really think I don't think they're losing. I just think like I said, now that they're getting it right, you're seeing more people go, and it makes sense.
All right.
It's a conversation for another review, though. So overall, Solo, a Star Wars story, 8 movie lingo rating, which I'm very pleased with. I think that's fair. Let us know in the comments what you guys think about it. Thank you for joining us for another movie lingo discussion. I'm Eddie Lingo.
I'm Carlos.
I'm Lando playing Uno.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Draw 4, motherfuckers.